Paper Towns is often remembered as a love story, a mysterious girl, a boy who follows her, a journey driven by longing. But Paper Towns isn't really about love. It's about what happens when someone becomes an idea instead of a person. Today, I want to explore Paper Towns through tarot, not to judge its characters, but to understand the psychology beneath the fantasy. And very quickly, if you're new here, hi, I'm Anisha. I am from Soul Script with Anisha, and this is a new series where I am analyzing characters, books, stories through the lens of tarot. I don't do this to predict outcomes, but to explain emotional patterns. And honestly, tarot helps us see where certain stories live emotionally, whether it's about connection, illusion, growth, or disillusionment. To me, Paper Towns lives firmly in the major arcana, and most of it lives in the moon. The moon is the card of illusion, projection, and emotional distortion. It appears when intuition is tangled with fear and fantasy, when we fill in the gaps instead of asking questions, when longing replaces knowing. The moon doesn't lie, it reflects what we want to see. And that is the emotional landscape of Paper Towns. Quentin believes that he is in love, but tarot gives us a more precise word. This is the lovers in shadow. The lover's card isn't about romance, it's about choice. And in shadow, it represents choosing fantasy over reality. Quentin doesn't truly know Margo. He doesn't ask who she is beneath the myth, and he falls in love with the version that he has constructed. He doesn't fall in love with Margo, he falls in love with the meaning he assigns to her. Margo, on the other hand, is not the mystery. She is the mirror. The moon doesn't represent deception, it represents being projected upon. Margo becomes an escape, a symbol, a narrative device in someone else's story. She is flattened into a paper town, something that looks real from far away but collapses up close. Margo isn't unknowable, she's unseen. The road trip in Paper Towns looks like the fool's journey. But this isn't the fool leaping into discovery. This is the fool learning discernment. It's movement driven by obsession, not curiosity. The journey isn't about finding Margo, it's about Quentin confronting the emptiness of his fantasy. The emotional resolution of Paper Town lives in the Hermit. The Hermit isn't loneliness, it's clarity after illusion. It's stepping away to retrieve yourself. The real coming-of-age moment isn't reunion, it's disillusionment. And that is why this book unsettles readers. Paper Towns is often misread because we expect romance to reward pursuit. But this story refuses that contract. It tells us something uncomfortable, that wanting someone intensely doesn't mean that you know them. And loving an idea can be more seductive than loving a person. This isn't a story about a girl who disappeared. It's a story about a boy who outgrew a fantasy. Tarot reminds us that love without curiosity becomes projection. And projection is lonely for the person idealized and the person who's idealizing. Paper Towns isn't cynical, it's honest. It asks us to stop turning people into symbols and start meeting them as they are. Tarot doesn't ruin romance, it teaches us where romance becomes real. And if this resonated with you, then please stick around for the next video, because this book was the reason I wrote one of my other books, which is titled All Signs Lead Back to You. And if you really like the series, then please comment, subscribe, and tell me what other books you would like to see through the lens of tarot. Until next time, bye.